December 24th, 2025, Buddha Dhamma, Chapter 9.7, Appendix 3, page 957. Asseverations of truth, a viable solution for peoples dependent on supernatural powers. The practical solution for those at beginning stage of spiritual development and those who are still fascinated by or dependent on supernatural powers is to apply the traditional Buddhist method of assertion of truth, satcha kiriya in the Pali language, satcha kiriya. This involves invoking the truth or referring to the truth as a governing power. To direct attention to the goodness one has previously performed and accumulated, or to simply reflect on the truth of one's present state of being, and then to apply the truth as the power for dispelling danger. When all other avenues for addressing the danger are exhausted, this method of practice is considered to be close to truly Buddhist way of practice. It does not undermine the making of effort, and it is not an entreaty into the external creative power. On the contrary, this practice increases confidence in one's own virtue and efforts. It leads to greater strength of heart. Moreover, one does not need to get mixed up with sacred objects or sacred ceremonies, which lead to complication and complexity. The Buddhist commentaries, especially the Jataka tales, contain many stories involving asseverations of truth, satcha kiriya. Many of these stories verge on the fantastic, but this is normal for literary texts. For example, verifying the true parents of a child, turning reeds hollow so that the tribes of monkey can drink safely, a baby bird wishing to escape a forest fire, helping to win at dice, healing a child who has bitten by a snake, saving a boat from angry seas, releasing bird from captivity, after sacrificing an eye, having the eye grow back, saving a prince who will be sacrificed in place of his father. In the story, there's some reliance on devas. A wife citing her faithfulness and thus healing her husband from leprosy. A queen asking for a son, escaping from prison after being falsely accused, curing a son after he was struck by a poisoned arrow, saving a royal husband who is about to be sacrificed, a courtesan making the river Ganges flow backwards, King Asoka asking for a branch from the great Bodhi tree without needing to cut it, escaping from the punishment of being crushed by an elephant after being falsely accused of theft, a child remembering his mother's devotion and honesty in order to escape from a stampeding buffalo, Venerable Angulimala wishing for well-being from a woman who is about to give birth, King Maha Kapinya crossing a river on horseback, a queen crossing river on horseback, using flowers as an ungary and sending forth an invitation to the awakened Buddha, curing a child who was bitten by a poisonous snake, curing a husband from illness. It is claimed that the recovery resulted from listening to the law of Dhamma talk offered by the wife, and divining whether beings who are truly worthy of offerings exist or not. A person who are worthy of offerings, dakinaya pukala. This term, it refers to awakened beings. The practice of making asseverations of truth is a measuring stick for the stability of ethical conduct in society. A decrease in this tradition of asseverations of truth, satcha kiriya, may point to a decline in social ethics, because when people lack virtue, give rise to self-confidence, they likely revert back to a dependence on the supplication of supernatural phenomenon like divine powers. It is probably because of such weakness in ethical conduct that we see the persistence and perseverance of primitive forms of religious practice today. For example, the making of propitiatory offerings, supplication, curses, and spells.